forced servitude with these Asiatics that insist on calling themselves Negro, blacks, and coloreds, which are all brands. And so if they have the brands Negro, black, and colored, then they have also the further nomens of ownership, Smith, Jones, Johnson, Williams, and Goldberg, whatever they may be calling themselves this week. It automatically makes them a ward of the state.
You want to say Cassius Clay when I would go sell and everybody's calling you Muhammad Ali. Now why you got to be one of all people whose color to keep saying Cassius Clay?
Boastful, loud, arrogant. That was just him.
Why don't you call me my name, man?
Well, what's your name?
My name is Muhammad Ali, and you will announce it right there in the center of that ring after the fight if you don't do it now.
There was no mercy in Ali.
Deliberately doing that.
I think so.
You do?
What is that ring after the fight if you don't do it now? Acting just like an old Uncle Tom. Another fly powder. So I'm gonna punish you.
Badly swollen, and Muhammad, for lack of a better phrase, had a picnic with him.
What was your name? Yes, sir. And why don't you now know what your name was then?
The European is so proud of himself, and I don't blame him, because he is the Negro God. And go start following people who are telling you this was religion when it's the return of your birthright, and you'd be confused because we're dedicated people means that we always looking for something to worship. Oh, there's a mic, so I'm converting from this camera, and next week now the mic is God. Has no ears to hear, no heart to sympathize, no reasoning power, and then when it fails, now it's the flag. And this is what we've done. This is what deication means. The word Africa comes from Scipio Africanus, the Roman general who the Moors, who capitulated, made him their god. All right? So in order to honor their god, they called themselves after their god, Africans. Just like the Moors in the modern time honor their god and give him the title that belonged originally to us, white man. Call him the great white father. Call him God, and they put his name on their children as a curse and a title of possession, Smith, Jones, Johnson, and Whoopi Goldberg. You understand? Because he's their God. They will not buy, they will not sell, they will not move, they will not breathe unless they pay their God first, and they get angry at you if you bring it to them just like that. So you got to allow them their dignity so they don't burn your house down. That's the mentality of a Negro, a nigger, a colored person. A being that's outside of the human family that commands dignity. And the world sees us that way until we honor our mothers and fathers who were Moabites, Moors. We don't see ourselves that way because of our arrogance and our self-righteousness. However, at law, you have no standing. Don't take offense. From a political perspective, they're listed as it. They're not listed as people. Yes. Negroes, blacks, and colored are listed in government and in military as it. And also, if they are neutralized in a war or conflict, they're listed as advisors. So if you see in any conflict where a certain amount of persons are neutralized and they say so many advisors died, they're Asiatics of Asiatic African birth. They're not listed as citizens. This is also why they have a difficulty, as you see over the years, you see different wars go up.
Where did it go? Where did you lose it? Who took it? And how did he take it?
And they own you because you've been transacting business in their names, and you know it. Even your babies knew it, and you thought it wasn't important. Well, it is. Because when you did that, you gave up your birthright willingly. That's a contract. You just made a pact with them. And it's enforceable all over the world. So Negroes, blacks, and colored people, which are its, they're not human beings, have no rights before any human being on the planet. Not because they don't like you, because you agreed to that by claiming to be something that you are not. What you need to know that it had legal and lawful implications, and this is what they didn't tell you. They just told you it was opinion, people feel about you and all that kind of crap, and you believed them and gave up your birthright. That's what the so-called Negro problem actually is, from a legal and jurisprudence point of view.
States Armed Forces.
No, I will not go 10,000 miles from here to help murder and kill another 4 people simply to continue the domination of white slave masters over the darker people of the earth.
You understand? Every civilized being on the planet, when they leave their mother, which is their nation, which is natal, that navel, that's your only birthmark. When they leave their mother, they're taught the truth about their natal responsibility. And see, so then you got all these grown adults that really believe that Santa Claus was real and that bunny rabbits laid chicken eggs and that human beings come in plaids and light-skinned green people and dark-skinned orange people, and you can get light-skinned black leather coats at the mall. And you know, you really got a lot of adults that really are in that frame of mind and they feel comfortable. But when you start examining things from a law position, all these things must be disseminated in their proper status. And of course, they will discover that they are living a fiction. Now you got a problem. Because they recognize that they've been had.
You've been had.
Some of them are so spooked that they won't get there. They know something's wrong, but they don't think, their attention span is like that. So it's going to be about 3 minutes. But 1 or 2 that haven't been drinking and drugging.
The satanic doctrine is that hell is this incredible party. So you're smoking dope.
But 1 or 2 that haven't been drinking and drugging and their circuitry is running will recognize human beings are not crayons. Human beings have nationalities. Their relationship to the world. And you have an obligation when you go out into the world to honor your mothers and your fathers. So you'll never see a Chinese, Japanese, Korean, any of the Asiatic brothers from the upper continent, Asia, come telling you they're talking about some light-skinned yellow rights. Why do they not do that? Because they're civilized human beings. They're part of the human family. They honor their mothers and fathers. They're not going to come here talking about, well, I'm going to the mall, get me a light-skinned black leather coat. They know that's fiction. But little boys and girls, even though they got big bodies, think that that's real. Think that the human family is crayons. And if you try to tell them different, they think you're trying to sell them some kind of religion. They literally run small municipalities merely on profile stops of Asiatics and of African birth who think they black. And Asiatics of African birth who think they Puerto Ricans and Latinos. And so the slavery is maintained through paperwork, and so since you don't see a face now, they can smile at you. And you actually start thinking that you've done something wrong, and actually they're regulating you just like any commercial product. So they don't have to get angry at you, do you? They don't have to, you know, not speak to you in the morning. You say, top of the morning to you. You cannot be other than who your ancient mothers and fathers are. I don't care how much you fake it and how many generations you pass that fraud down on your babies. All you're doing is casting them in hell. Then recognize the reason why they're not, because they're not citizens, they're property. They're property of the citizens. Whoever's name they bear, that's bonded. They're under liens and bonds from birth. So they're born in sin.
Just blaze. And I told y'all I was finna blow like C4. Stunting the G5, flying the G4. T-unit footwear, G apparel. I'm so hood, that blue and that white looks so good. Hip hop, man. We gon' take it to the next level. Kicks match that hat and that throwback. Kids stay color coordinated, man. You know that. Truth is, I ain't got a jump shot, but I got a left hook. I don't swing golf clubs, but I sell like golf brooks. I'm hot, man. I rock Reeboks, man. If it ain't the G-unit, it's the S-Dot, man.
S-Dot's taking off. G4's about to land. See how we cross brand. We boss about it, man. Got the soul of the old Gucci's. If you upset, sue me. If not, sit back and watch me do me. Parking lot pimping. Sideline ballers. We don't sweat up the fresh. Let the girls do it for us. The watch talk for me. Drop talk for he. Brand new S-Dots walk with me. Sorta like you. Just scored a bucket. You bow-legged. You frontin'. You walking awkwardly. Oh, it's nothing. Keep score with me. Give me 3 hot seconds. I break 3 block records.
Stupidity is a product of
education.
educated illiterates. Educated illiterates. Islands here.
Yes.
You see down here one of our old sacred places, Easter Island?
Yes.
But the real deal is that the economy is changing because the technology is changing. And so now you have a people that you dumb down